What's going on, world? It's your man, Mr. Meg, here with allhiphop.com. I'd like to welcome you to The Mechanism. I also like to welcome, I don't even know, at certain levels, you don't know how to introduce people because you feel like you should know them. And if you don't know them, I kind of feel like you shouldn't be watching this. But just in case you are, you want to get to know some new shit, I'm sitting with somebody you really should know and someone he'd like to introduce you to. So instead of me doing it, I'm going to let him do it.
All right. What up, y'all? I go by the name of Jermaine DuPri. It's my man, Nove.
That's what we get, bro. Nope. After that whole setup.
What's up? I go by the name Nove. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Reading, PA. You know what I'm saying? Under the man himself, legend under his wing, Jermaine DuPri.
And his jewelry is huge. Work. It felt like adding that on my brain. So Jay, talk to me, man. You know, there's so many things you have your hand in at any given moment. But you stop to pick up talent along the way and always cultivate that. Where does that come from?
Just my understanding of how I guess I continue to survive. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, I'm couple 40 something, and I'm gonna survive through Nova. You know what I mean? Nova's he go out here and do what he's doing, and not just Nova. I mean, all these kids, but they gonna take me to a different place, and they might bring me back. You know what I mean? Back to the future. It's kind of like that's what it is. It's like going backwards into the future. It's weird because that's what it is, back to the future. But that's what it is. It's like, you know, they're the future, and they actually take me into their life. So I'm going backwards into what I feel like they're doing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right.
I just got that.
Everybody's catching it at one time.
I'm telling you.
For those of you who smoked weed before you watched this, I'm sorry. Now, but this isn't new for you. This isn't new.
No, it's not.
Discovering young talent is, you've pretty much, I mean, from crisscross it all the way up, you've been making a career discovering people very early in the business. Yeah. And making these blockbuster hits. So yeah. This can't be that much of a new.
No, well, it's not. It's not new, but the vehicle that these kids drive in is a different vehicle. You know what I mean? I'm not the creator of these guys. These guys wanted to do this prior to this show. Mm-hmm. You know, Nova been doing this before the rap game came on TV. It's not something that I just discovered in a week ago. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the difference. These guys are out here, kids are out here putting up numbers on YouTube, putting up numbers on Instagram and Twitter and all of that. And actually trying to, you know, get their own fan base and actually have their own fan base prior to me even meeting them or talking to them. And that's a different vehicle than Crisscross and Bow Wow. It's not my creation from actually ground up. They are who they are. Now it's just me I have to basically do what I did with the Franchise Boys with these guys. So they got the talent. They got, you know, they got things that they want to do. They got ideas. I just got to support it and try to help them package it in a way that makes sense
and pick the right one to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess, you know, depending on who you ask, you know, it's different people that don't believe I ever have picked the right winner yet.
Have these people been in a club or watched television for the last 15, 20 years? And
I mean, you know,
jump, come on.
Well, I mean, you know, well, not that. I'm talking about the TV show, but I think it's really interesting because people don't understand how I gather my information and what, you know, I watch so much of what the person is doing, and what this person is doing, and what this person is doing to evaluate where I should go. Mm-hmm. Like, and I could see moves from certain people that appear to me as artists who are closer to becoming superstar artists, as opposed to artists that I feel like still need a little bit more work.
So knowing the blueprint, watching the moves, you can see certain people are more ready than others.
Yeah, easily. I mean, I can see it fast, like really, really quick. Like if a person, the way, you know, we do interviews on the show, if a person handles themselves as like an artist and they talking to the people and the people looking like, hey, you know, I'm paying attention to that. And nobody else pays attention to that because it's not something that, you know, is normally something that you can spot out because it might not even look that much different to you, but I know because I'm like, this guy ain't talk like this prior. he's talking different today. He's moving different today. His whole body language seems different. Something's happened, right? And that right there could tip the little cup over to make me start looking at you like, okay, this guy got a different mentality right now. He actually is looking like he wants to be a star. You know what I mean? So it's just stuff like that. If I see you, Anthony Hamilton, basically, like when I signed Anthony Hamilton, he came to me with a toothpick in his mouth and a tore baseball cap, and his face was not even shaved, and he just looked scruffy, and his vocals were so amazing that I was just like, I'm gonna go with. He looked like, he don't look like the person that you would think is singing these songs, but it's something about his look and his voice that made it look like magic to me. So it's just, it depends on how it looks. I'm definitely, the packaging of the artist is really important.
I was gonna say, outfit wise, he hasn't changed very much. He still has that same.
He cleaned up though.
I hope it's a different toothpick. I hope it's not the same one he had.
It's not right. He definitely changed his shave though. He's shaving now, cleaner.
I mean, good. I'm glad that's in the budget. Yeah. You got big shoes to fill. Yes. This man's lineage and track record don't speak to a lot of flops or one-hit wonders even. I mean, there's I don't know. Would you consider the Franchise Boys one hit?
No, not at all. The Franchise Boys were 3-hit wonders.
That's 2 more than 1. We'll leave that right. With that said, you got to come with at least 3, Playboy. But at the end of the day, you are, under the wing of a man who's very successful, very known, and accomplished in this field. What do you need to bring to the table to keep that thing going? You don't want to be an L on that record.
Yeah. I feel like the torch has been lit. I'm here to carry it. I'm gonna take it as far as I can go right now. So I feel like I just gotta be consistent, stay consistent, bring hits. Bring hits to the table and work. Actually work now. Now that I got here, now it's time to actually put in the work. Because the foot in the door was there. Now it's like, let's get it.
What does work look like to you? I find when we speak to a lot of the younger generation, work sounds like a bunch of different things. Some people will tell you they just need to be in the studio all the time. Some guys tell you they need to go out and grind, they need to be in the clubs. At this level, what do you consider work?
Well, work to me, I feel like the studio isn't work. That's what I do. That's my natural habitat. So I feel like work is like press runs. Actually learning the industry, learning the real. Learning the real education of music, that's the work that needs to be brought, and actually speaking to kids and giving what I learned, giving it to them. That's the work.
Do you ever pull a boss man to the side and ask him like, no, why'd you do that thing right there? What's this number mean? What is that? What's this paper?
I don't question with Jay.
Not question, but like no. I mean, there's questioning and then there's asking a question. You want to get the knowledge. I'm not telling you to
observing.
I feel like hey, what the hell you do that for? I'm not telling you to do that. Hey man, what is that little, what's that mean? Why'd you do that? Just tell me.
I will. We haven't discussed it yet, but he does feel a certain way about this track that I just put out, and he doesn't like the mix on the EP, and it was done deliberately the way I put it out, so that I want people to understand that this came from the TV show, and when you listen to Nova as he and I go in the studio, it should sound different, right? And I'm sure we haven't spoke about it, but I've heard that he was very upset about it, and and that's a visionary thing, right? That's something that I'm looking at this from a different perspective. He's looking at it as I'm trying to put my music out. I'm everything that sounds crazy. I'm looking at it from I'm trying to build this story so that if you into the artist, you're following the journey from every part of the journey. Like, okay, this is the song from the TV show. All right, listen how different it sounds. And by the way, it don't sound that much worse. You know what I mean? It's not bad, but it does sound different than Look Out Below sounds different than Go Harder and the other songs. And like I said, it was deliberately done like that. I wanted the records to feel like you was hearing, because one of the things that happened on the show is that the kids, they rap so much and they be like just putting it out there that the production level of it is never really like asked. They never really talk about, yo, are you gonna put some delay on my voice, or can you put some auto tune on this? It's never really it really not really no room for that in the competition. So with this song I just released, I wanted it to sound like that, like sound as much as like we didn't do nothing to it
as possible.
This is what's going on. This is how it happens on the TV show. Right. But when you listen to him as an artist, you listen to him as going to the studio for real, you separate the two and understand what it is, right? And I mean, like I said, we didn't have no conversation about it prior to it, and it's just me and a vision of just like, how do you get people to stay into this and like and go into the journey, as opposed to just being like, here go music. You know what I'm saying?
So see, that's an interesting question, Jay. How much license do you give your artists to be 100% honest with you? I'm gonna ask him. I'm a follow up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I understand that you may not ever say to them, "Yo, don't question me. I'm Jermaine DuPri. I know what I'm doing." I understand you may never say that, but that's kind of the elephant in the room.
Nah, not
when
really. You're
16 years old, and because you just said he was kind of upset about it, and you had to hear about it. That means he didn't come to you with it.
Yeah.
So my thought is. Let me take this to him. Do you feel intimidated? Would you feel intimidated stepping to him? I mean, as close as you've gotten already, as much as you've been through the show and the whole ride, are you intimidated to go to him and say, "Yo, man, I don't like that. Why would you do that?"
Nah, I don't feel it's intimidation. I just felt like as an artist, it's a difference. He was looking at it as
But you didn't know that prior to that.
I didn't. I didn't. But now that I'm actually hearing that, it was just I was in an artist mode right there. It was like my song. Like this is my I take every track as I baby it. So when the song was released that way, I felt like, dang, like when people hear this, how they gonna feel about this? It's like, okay, now that because some people still don't understand why you put it out like that. But it's like when you really break down and actually hear what's the real reason behind it, it just made me think like, okay, I get it. But at the time, I was really upset about it because I'm an artist. He wasn't looking at it as an artist at that time. He was looking at the story behind it. I was looking at it as an artist. That's why I didn't really come to it, because he said I'm gonna release Look Out Below. I sent everything over and he put it out, and I felt like, oh damn, why the verse that I wanted not on there? So it was a miscommunication thing. But I don't think it's intimidation. That I would have went to him and told him like, hey Jay, like I didn't feel like this was that, but I was in the artist mode at that time.
Did you hesitate on stepping to him because at the end of the day you trust him to do what he's to do the right thing? Is that kind of where that comes from?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like I said, I mean, same thing. Like I told his uncle, I'm not a dude that put out music that don't sound right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
if it happens like this, you would have to think immediately like, something. Why? What is he doing? Right? I'm not. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it. But I also, like I said, I looked at the TV show. Like when he said he takes every one of his things as his baby. But on the show, they rap a lot with no effects or nothing. Right? Nobody had no problem with it. It seemed like everybody's cool. Like if we go to the radio station, they put him on the spot. He rap right on the spot. And it just goes to the camera, and it's like, it's dry, it's no reverb, it's nothing, right? And I want people to understand that that's what these kids are. They got talent to do that. They don't need all the world bells and whistles. You know what I mean? If they can really rap, they'll do it just like this, and this how it's gonna sound. So that's just me caught up in my vision of whatever. But at the same time, it's a true testament to actually what happens on the TV show.
Right.
The TV show, it's no bells and whistles. It's like, yo, can you rap? Can you write a rap in a day and perform tomorrow? That's that ain't like nobody helping you. It's like it's like if you got the talent to do this, that's basically what that is. So it's like, I give my artists open ground, because I feel like listen, I was in a position before.
Right.
I was 17. I was 17, and people didn't go with what I was saying, and people didn't trust what I was saying, and then I put out Crisscross, and then people was like, oh, maybe he know what he's talking about. It still was a maybe.
Right.
It still wasn't like just open door. But you know what I mean? It was people still they caught along with it, but I still had to continue to keep doing what I was doing to prove. Yeah.
Where are we time wise? We good?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Our Uber's coming. We have to make the train back.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Last question. Last question. You've been working with the youth for so long. You've been doing all, you know what I mean, all these acts that you brought up. I mean, kids, teenagers, barely in their 20s. We're witnessing such a disconnect between older artists, younger artists, 30 and up versus 20 and under. You've been through so many different eras where you've never had that issue. Why do you think we're having such an issue now?
Because the education level is low, man. The education level in hip hop is extremely it's almost probably minute at this point.
Oh my.
Right? And that's what it is. You know, like when you take Lil Yachty saying that he never listened to Biggie or this, that, and the third, a lot of people was like, oh God, why, what, right? I didn't take it like that. I'm taking it like, yo, I understand he's a kid that probably was not listening to that. That doesn't affect him at that particular point in time. But the education of once you step into the music industry, you should educate yourself on who was the greatest. You know, that's why when you walk in the rooms like this and they got pictures on the wall, like you don't walk in the room and say, who's that guy right there? And you're black and you don't know who that is.
It's Jay-Z, by the way.
You just don't do that. Like, that would be like one, the most disrespectful thing that you could ever do to be in the music business, and then two, just makes you look dumb. It makes you look like you have no sense to even be in the music business. So that part of it, the education part of it, is gone. You should, if you're gonna get in this, you should educate yourself. You should listen to stuff that has come before you that was great and find out why. Like, especially like somebody that people continue to keep talking about in 2017 that came out in the 90s.
Jay, Pac, Biggie.
If you keep hearing these names in 2017, it must be something incredible about them. Let me go back and listen to why people keep talking about this, right? That should be just a test to any person that wants to be in the music industry. But this young generation is not doing that, and nobody is forcing them to do it. So, you know, you're losing the education. Like, the education in hip hop has always been, it teaches you a bunch of different things. Like, if you sample somebody's record and you don't know who Bob James is, but you sample the record, through the business of having to sample it and having to pay this man that you don't know, but you like the way it sounds, you become a fan of Bob James. You get to know who this guy is. You start hearing more things about, and you like, just that quick, you just learned about somebody that you would never even listen to. But it's hip hop that got you to that place. That's what I'm saying. The education is just completely gone. Once the education, and that's what I'm trying to do with these guys. These kids are getting educated on this show.
Can we get it back?
Of course. If people pay attention, people got to pay attention. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you watch what I'm talking about with this show, when I bring people to them, that's artists that's known already, that's what I'm doing. I'm letting them feel the power of these artists that's out, so that they can soak some of that in and be like, yo, I want to be like this dude. This dude just introduced me to, you know what I mean, or this person, you know what I mean. And what if they give them some you know, some words of advice? Hopefully they listen to it. That's the education that hip hop has lost. I don't see no other show doing that besides the Rap Game.
And with that
being said,
now that we talked about the Rap Game, we gonna wrap this up. I'm your man, Mr. Mech. This is the legend himself. This is a new legend up and coming. This is allhiphop.com. Welcome to the Mechanism.
Yeah, thank you.